Hi, guys. So quite an inspiring morning so far. I can't get over it. I mean, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with all the stuff that's going on and what people are doing around culture. It's just phenomenal to see it take off. Now, I realize I'm standing between you guys and lunch, so I've got a pretty good baud rate. I'm going to go really quickly so that I can get through a lot of this stuff and hopefully share with you a little bit about what we're doing inside of LinkedIn. So first of all, again, really excited to be here. I joined LinkedIn about a year and a half ago, and I was brought in to take benefits from a little B to a big B. They wanted to have it make a difference. And so I have the pleasure of leading several teams. I lead head of global benefits and perks, global mobility, wellness, and then our employee experience team. And these teams collectively create an exceptional experience for our LinkedIn employees every single day. We have the mantra that we want to treat everybody beautifully, including each other. And so I have held similar positions at other companies. I was at Yahoo in the 90s. I was at Gap Inc. I went back to Yahoo. I was at Facebook just before coming to LinkedIn. And so I know now my sweet spot is high-tech, fast-growing companies that really do see talent as their number one priority. And this is actually my CEO, Jeff. So a lot of people ask me, what's the secret formula for a great culture? And I don't think there is any kind of a secret. It's really about your leadership, your product, and really kind of the people that you're hiring. And for each company out there, the culture is going to be unique to you. And like others have said before me, it is not the words on a wall, it's not in a PowerPoint presentation, it's really what the employee themselves feel. So I ask you to think about your company and your employees. If an employee in your company was at a dinner party, and the person next to them said, "What's it like to work at your company?" What that person says is really the true reflection of the culture. And so think about what you would say if people asked you what it's like to work there. So at LinkedIn, it's our culture that got us where we are today, and it's our culture that's going to take us into the future. We inspire each other, and we inspire great ideas, and that is what leads to our culture. So here is our culture tenets. Integrity. Simply said, it's do the right thing, period. Integrity is very, very important to us. Results. We all hold ourselves accountable to deliver on exceptional results. Collaboration. As great as we are as individuals, collectively we're even that much better. And then humor. Humor is actually one of our culture tenets, and we don't wait for it to happen. Leadership does it. It happens all the time. My CEO describes the kind of people he wants to work with, and it's 3 circles that intersect. One circle is people who know how to get shit done. The other circle is that people who dream big and don't see boundaries. And the last one is that people know how to have fun. So if those qualities exist, those are the kind of people he wants to work with. And then above all, our culture is about transformation. And we look at transformation in 3 different ways. First one is transformation of self. We want our people who come to work at LinkedIn to actually leave LinkedIn a better professional. So we look at different kinds of tours of duty when we think about working at our company. One is a foundational tour. That's the employee who comes in who wants to be at this company doing this kind of work, and they're very passionate about it. Then there's that employee who comes in, maybe gets hired to do a great project, completes it, and then goes to another part of the company. So they actually have rotations within the company. And then the last one is the employee who we hire that comes in, does amazing work for us, and then leaves. We recognize that 30-year employment doesn't exist, at least in this valley. And there's a lot of our people who we hire who are very entrepreneurial. And they're going to go off and they're going to go do a startup or go work at a startup. But while they're there, we want them to have a great experience. And someone had talked about the last day of employment. So for those of you who ever left a company, it's usually HR gives you an exit interview. They tell you about COBRA and maybe what's going to happen with your 401k, and they say so long. Well, we do those things too, but we've actually changed the conversation of what happens on your last day. First, we say thank you. Thank you for everything that you did to contribute to the company's success. And then we ask you, what's your next play? Where are you going off to? What's next for you? And then the last thing we say is, this isn't goodbye, it's so long. Because 1 week after you leave the company, Reid Hoffman, our chairman of the board, sends you a personal invitation to join our employee network for alumni. We have a huge alumni network that we have launched. I think it's over 77% of anyone who ever worked there before is part of it. We have 300 active employees in it because they interact with our former employees. And just last night we held our alumni reunion, beer bash, rock band, very fun stuff. So our relationships really matter at LinkedIn, and they go way beyond the time that they leave the company. So some of the things that we do that while you're working at LinkedIn to help you become a better professional or to have a great experience is around speaker series. And I know someone just mentioned that they do a speaker series. We do a speaker series. We have a lot of employees come together. We stream it across the company globally. We actually also stream it outside the company. We bring in some very innovative thought leaders who have great ideas, share them with our employees, and then our employees get to get up and interact with them and ask questions. We have Deepak Chopra or Sheryl Sandberg. We've had Ariana Huffington. So we've had some amazing speakers come in. And my favorite is when it's summertime and the interns are there, because they are so bold. They always first one in line to ask questions of these leaders. And it's a pretty amazing experience for them. The next is around wellness. So we look at wellness as your full mind, body, and spirit. How do we help you unleash your greatness? And we have 6 tenets we focus on: thoughts, breathing, hydration, nutrition, rest, and movement. So we are launching a wellness transformation plan next year. You would answer a few questions and determine what is it you're focused on. Maybe you want to run a marathon, do an Ironman. So we can help you with a nutrition plan, a hydration program, hook you up with a running coach, get you enrolled in some marathons. But perhaps what you want to focus on is stress, because you're a working parent. Well, we can't eliminate the stress at home, and we can't eliminate the stress in commuting to work, or even how hard you're working. But what we can do is help you build resiliency to be able to excel in that environment. So wellness is a really big part of our culture. Now, the second part of transformation is transformation of the company. We want to help LinkedIn realize its full potential as well. And we do that with the people we hire and the people that work. We are a very inclusive environment. We have a lot of employee resource groups. So these are groups that have come together. Things like WALI, which is Women at LinkedIn. We have BIG, which is the Black Inclusion Group. And then we have Out It In, which is our LGBT/ally group. I'm actually the co-executive sponsor for our Out It In group. We're going to be out in force this Sunday at Pride. We have hundreds of employees and their friends marching. We're actually in Pride parades across the globe. We're in Dublin, London. We were in Omaha last week, New York, Chicago. And I don't know how many of you have been watching your social media today. Woo! So the Supreme Court has just ruled in favor of same-sex marriage nationwide. So we really have a lot to celebrate this coming Sunday. Company All Hands, you guys mentioned that. We have our Company All Hands. All the executives are available for Q&A. We introduce some new employees. We do business updates, keynotes, but it's a really fun way to keep connected. And again, it happens globally. It's streamed in all of our offices, and the questions come in from all around the world. Okay, and transformation of world. This is actually what we do as our company product, which is, we want to create an economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. But we also want to bring it home a little bit. And we have a group called LinkedIn for Good. LinkedIn for Good has two missions. One is outside the company. They have built a volunteer marketplace where if you want to volunteer but don't know where, they'll hook you up with opportunities. But inside the company, we have all kinds of things. We have transformation grants. So this is someone on my team. One of her very best friend died in 9/11. And every year she creates a run to raise money in his name. So she put forth for a transformation grant with the company, and now this run is happening all over the world in all of our offices. It's quite amazing. LinkedIn for Good also hooks us up in the community. We work with the underserved youth. Last year, we went out in force and worked with job seekers, whether through NOVA or disabilities or students or vets, and we sat down one-on-one with them. Thousands of LinkedIn employees sat down one-on-one and helped them rock their profile and give them interviewing tips. So we really have a lot of fun with that. And then there's InDay, and InDay is really where I wanted to spend the next few minutes. So we were probably about 5 years in to our company. We were moving really fast. We were becoming global very quickly. Our products were going out, and people were working really, really hard. And we wanted to keep that excitement up. We wanted to keep their energy up. And we started to think about, how do we help them take a breath? Now, one thing we could do is give them more time off. But we really wanted our people together, working together, collaborating, and thinking about how we can do this together. So we actually took a page out of engineering, who we have been for years hosting hack days, hackathons, and thought, how do we spread this across the company and create a day of innovation? And that day of innovation got shortened to In-Day. So, one day a month, the company gives it back to us. And on that day, we focus on all these transformations: transformation of self, transformation of the company, or transformation of the world. It's one day where we can stop and breathe and connect. As an individual, I might take a class on Linda. I may go take a course there. Or maybe I go work in my kid's school. Or maybe as a team we go do something fun together. Or maybe we collectively go out and do good in the community. This is the one day that really helps fuel the next 30 days. This, and I love this, this came about as an idea from our CFO. So this support really does come from the tip top. So what In-Day is it's themed. Every month has a theme. In January, it's vision, as we look towards the new year. And in December, it's reflection, as we look back on what we've done. We have a theme of play, which was last Friday. So imagine hundreds of our employees smashing together in bubble soccer. Really fun stuff. We also have an In-Day that's focused on Bring Your Parent to Work Day. So you guys are familiar with Bring Your Kids to Work? Well, we are 68% millennial at our company. And so we've actually flipped it around and done Bring Your Parent to Work Day. Let them come in and see what it is that you do. Our CEO brings his parents, and we do this in all of our offices. We've actually had, I think, 7 or 8 companies join in with us. So it's in November. If you want to join in, we'll do a big media campaign around Bring Your Parent to Work. Another one that I'm very, very fond of is we do random acts of kindness. That's one of the things we do on an In-Day. That's where we pull our employees together, put them into groups, 3, 4, 5 people, and give them a nominal amount of money and tell them to go pay it forward. Go out into the community, document it, come back and share it. So some of the things that they've done is in New York City, they went to City Hall and they paid for the next 4 weddings. In San Francisco, they traded their money in for $2 bills, and they went to the bus stops and gave bus fare, then gave them another $2 to pay that forward. And then they waited for the bus drivers to come and gave them Starbucks cards. In India, they pooled their money, and they put on a lunch for the janitorial staff of their business complex. In London, 2 guys sat outside a Starbucks with a cardboard sign that said, "Can we buy you a cup of coffee?" And they'd gone ahead and prepaid Starbucks for a whole lot of coffees. So the stories go on, and the social media has picked up on this. And there was a woman who posted on Facebook that her husband worked at LinkedIn, and he did something like this. She did a call to action. Why isn't everyone doing something like this? One group stumbled across a family on hard times. They were trying to get back across the country to go live with other family members. So the team had the money that they were given as their nominal amount, but they pulled it out of their own pocket, and they bought those people gas cards, they bought them groceries, and they bought them toys for the kids so that they could get home across the country. So these stories are just so heartfelt, and and let me tell you, the investment is nothing. This is a very, very tiny financial investment, but it just reaps all kinds of rewards. So as I said, it all comes together on In-Day, and what I was going to show you was a quick video on In-Day. So it's a hyperlink right down there. And do you have sound? Full screen? And turn it up.
The opportunity to better themselves, the community, or the team. In-Day is where LinkedIn gives its employees one day a month the opportunity to better themselves, the community, or the team.
It varies each month. It brings people together.
To work on ideas we're passionate about.
It's like nothing else that I can even imagine any other company.
We think outside ourselves.
It's a chance to learn, develop new skills.
And ultimately to have fun.
One day every month we give back to our employees to do anything they want. They can build a hack, they can give back to the community. It's all about pursuing the things that you're most inspired by and that you're most passionate about.
On In-Day, we get to choose what we want to do.
So the ideas come from anyone and everyone.
Each In-Day has a theme.
The theme of play or a theme of giving back to the community.
The fact that In-Days exist remind us as employees that we are number one for the company.
I think In-Day is about taking chances and stretching yourself.
It's about really taking that day and turning it into energy that helps power the whole rest of the month.
We volunteered at food banks.
We went out and we cleaned the Dublin Canal here in Dublin.
Walking up the city centre of Dublin with somebody dressed as Kermit the Frog will never be forgotten.
Perhaps the most memorable have been those times where I get the chance to sit with people from outside of LinkedIn, veterans and nonprofit founders, so that they can learn how to get the most out of the network.
Today on In-Day, I organize Connect You, but I'm also participating in Connect You. I like to think of myself as the coach. I'm working with a nonprofit on identifying talent, board members, volunteers, and donors. I just very strongly believe that talent is what makes any organization, initiative, a success or a failure. That's why I want to connect our employees to opportunities to serve, because they're talented people, and so their talent should be used for good.
Participating in Hack Day is just one example of what you can do with your In-Day.
If you and I are calling on behalf of Red Cross, I'm calling someone else.
What we're doing today with a crack team of about 8 Python ninjas, we're trying to build an engineering system that makes our calling for a cause event effective and more efficient for the organizers.
On In-Days, it's really about having a good time.
I helped create the mini golf and In-Day project. Just kind of started talking about potentially creating a golf course, and everybody said yes. And so we got almost 120 people all collaborating on this golf course. And then we entered the space of competition with over 200 teams, and we actually won the most transformed category. So that was kind of the icing on the cake for us. In-Day kind of represents what LinkedIn is all about to me. Even though LinkedIn is such a big company, we still have the same type of culture that we did years ago.
Having In-Day at LinkedIn means that it is more than just a job working here.
In-Day for me is the investment of LinkedIn back in us as human beings, not just as professionals.
In-Day is about transformation.
Transformation of yourself, transformation of the company, and transformation of the world.
It's been something that has definitely transformed the team that I work in.
I think above all else, In-Day is about you. It's time for you to take the time to pause and work on the things that you can't wait to work on, and that you believe can not only transform your career, but can help transform the company.
So In-Day, very big piece of our culture. With that, last thing I'll just say is, whoops. Well, while he's doing that, it's just one last slide. You know, we're all responsible for the culture in the company. We hold each other accountable. We support one another, and honestly, we come back to the fact that we treat each other beautifully, and that has become a norm, and that has become expected. So I'm actually heading off to Kona, so I'm going to go catch my flight. I do have people in the back of the room, Nancy, Mav, Jackie. So if you guys want to learn anything more about our alumni network, In-Day, LinkedIn for Good, any of these programs, I'm sure they'll be happy to talk to you over lunch and share what they know. They are the leaders of our team around employee experience, and so they're the ones who make it happen or help everyone else. Thank you.